Welcome back. We're together
back
again.
Yeah, we're welcome back to me.
Welcome back to you, to my house.
We are in the Arizona studio.
In sunny Arizona, where it's 75 and beautiful.
It's better than the last time I was here. That's for damn sure.
It's literally 35 degrees colder than the last time she was here.
Hallelujah.
Which was, mind you, only like a month ago. So it's kind of crazy that it's a 35-degree difference.
Literally. I got in today, like 2 hours ago.
Literally.
We're back. And I'm going to be here for like a whole 5 days. And I was texting Caitlin because usually we wouldn't be getting so many updates basketball-wise in a week. And I said, wait, you know what?
We must keep going.
The games are gaming. The NBA Cup is cupping, and
it is cupping hard.
And well, welcome if you're new here. This is Caitlin, and I'm Spencer.
And we're at U Sports.
And welcome back if you're not new here. We're so happy to have you, and we have a lot new friends. So
a lot of you, and we're like really happy that you're here.
We're so happy you're here.
It's actually kind of weird.
It is.
You want to listen to us talk? That's crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Truly, actually.
It's mental illness.
It's mental illness.
But you know what happened last night, Caitlin, is I slept like a damn baby. You want to know why?
I have a guess.
You have an idea?
But I would love to hear you tell me.
Because you know what? Steph Curry put me to sleep.
He hit you with the night-night?
He hit me with the night-night, and I slept deliciously.
I love him
because
so much.
If you didn't know, the Warriors last night defeated the Dallas Mavericks 120-117. And if you didn't watch that game,
you must.
Or
at least go watch highlights. It was
please,
incredible.
you have to. I rewatched it after. Like I missed the first half, and so I watched the whole second half and then immediately rewatched it.
Oh yeah.
Because I knew I wanted to talk about it.
It was such a good game. And just so you know, that's actually going to kind of be like the whole preface of this video. We really wanted to like break down this game and look at it and look at these two teams because they were amazing. And then we'll chat a little bit about the rest of the NBA Cup because yesterday was day one of the NBA Cup previously in season tournament last year.
I don't know.
I think I kind of like NBA Cup better.
I think the courts look less abrasive.
Did you see the Celtics?
I loved it.
Loved it?
You hated it?
It was so bright.
It was really okay, but the Nuggets
last year,
I was there in person, and I like got a headache while looking at it because it was bright. It was like a more. This is a pretty blue.
It was so.
It was
bright
like a harsh blue.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the Warriors last year? The Warriors last year was like really ugly. It was like a Dijon mustard brown lined in like bright yellow.
Yeah, no, they were.
It was ugly.
And the red ones, the red courts remind me, I'm like, oh, they're playing in hell.
Oh, no, literally. I don't know
they're
how.
They're playing in hell.
I think, who was it? I think it was Derek White. He did an interview after, or like either at halftime or after one of the quarters yesterday during their game. And they were asking some question about the in-season tournament. And he's like, it's taken some getting used to. About like the bright-ass court.
That's so funny.
He's like, we're getting used to it. But
yeah, no,
so
I liked the Warriors. Did you like the Warriors?
I really liked the Warriors this year. I thought that the Warriors this year was like much more normal.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, obviously, it was a big game at Chase Center.
Like already, I literally have goosebumps about it already. So if you didn't know, obviously, like I said, game ones. That sounds good. Game ones of the NBA Cup in-season tournament, whatever you want to call it, were happening all over the league yesterday. There were several games, and one of the West Group C was the Warriors versus the Mavericks, and it was in the Bay in San Francisco, and it was Klay Thompson's return to Chase Center as a Maverick.
I was
and
so
not a
emotional.
Warrior.
I'm not even like I don't really care necessarily about
all that.
No, like I do, but you know, the Warriors, like the Nuggets are my main team. So like but watching everything, I just can't imagine being somewhere for so long and like it's towards the end, and it was kind of like a bitter last season for him. So
it was.
I just felt like it
tough
was really
one.
like high emotion. And I do want to say, if some of you haven't read, because everyone was wondering why Klay seemed really bitter originally when asked about it. He's like, it's just a game in November. But his team like reached out and was like, I think to the media mainly, and was like, Klay is really overwhelmed. Like, he's a private person. He's a shy person. He didn't mean it like that. Like, he's really emotional over it, but he's trying to keep that in check. Well, he does have to play a game.
He's a very mental stuff does take a toll on him. Hence his entire last season with the Warriors. There was a lot of back end stuff going on.
Yeah.
Plus, he was absolutely letting like just the media and and social media and things like that. Like, people were being horrible to him, and he let all of that get to him. And then he couldn't come up with a good contract extension with the Warriors, and they ended up letting him go, and he went to the Mavericks. So, when you're with a team for 13 years, with the same guys for 13 years, the same two guys, Klay,
you win 4 championships.
You win 4 championships. You have the same coach for 10 years, who you won all 4 of those championships with. Like, you've been through, this team that gave you a max contract when you were injured and you were out for 2 years, like 2 years of his max contract was injury. He didn't even play. He didn't touch the court. And they did that to keep him on the team.
Yeah.
And so it's like, there's like a lot of love there. And so I think that there's also a lot of hurt when it came down to like that whole last year. And obviously it's going to be emotional for him. Like, I don't even think that there's like a way that it couldn't be emotional for him. It's going back to a place where you had 4 championships and that you thought you'd retire, and it's a lot there. But yeah, people are pretty much saying he does get like emotional, and he does get in his head. And if he was going to treat it like it was like the biggest game of the season and like something that was really important, he was going to jinx himself. He was going to screw himself. He was going to overthink it. And
I will say, I'm like so interested to see how it's going to go when Kat goes back to Minnesota.
I know. Do we know when that is?
Because that was a super bitter exit. December 19th.
December 19th. Okay, that's a month.
Oh, yeah, like a month.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big deal.
That will be a big deal.
It's going to be awkward.
So for those of you who didn't know, though, when Klay showed up to Chase Center yesterday, he was greeted by 400 Chase Center employees who gave him like a standing ovation and sat there and clapped for him. And he walked through like all of them just...
I'm going to cry.
I know. I'm like already emotional. Just giving
the video
him...
made me cry.
Oh, it was... Yes, I was distraught. So yeah, that's like the best part is like a lot of people thought it was fans, but it was literally just 400 Chase Center employees.
I do love that too, though, because he said that he like saw a lot of familiar faces in the crowd. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I didn't even think about people that are like season ticket holders that they like probably saw like every day for, because like,
ew, look, I've got full body goosies.
Full goosies. It was so emotional. And oh my God, it was such a game.
It was such a good game. And you know what? Like, I wanted him to have like a good game and then have the Mavs still lose. And I feel like I got what I needed.
I needed him to have a good game just because I couldn't imagine like going out there and then almost like proving a point that
why they let you go. Yeah.
So it was almost like good, but listen, he poked the bear, okay?
Mocking Stephen Curry. Did you hear Steph Curry after the game? He said he knows better than that.
He knows better. What is Klay?
Do the shimmy, you little stinker.
He started off literally with 2 free throws, and I think Steph like fell to him on purpose. Like, here, get your 2 points.
Yeah, and go ahead. Now it's on. Well, the best part, this is like what I loved too, is that the very first Warrior shot of the game was a Steph Curry 3 over Klay Thompson. I was like, it's gonna be a game, baby.
As soon as Klay got like 2 back-to-back threes, and then first he did the little like
he did Steph's shimmy.
He did it so quick. It's almost like he was like, oh my God, I did not just do that.
Steph's gonna kill me.
After the game, he was like, I've done it too. Mm-hmm. We were like, that's Steph's move, and you freaking know it, babe. And then he did the like arm point. I was like, oh, he's playing. He's playing a game today. It was so good because you poked the bear, and Steph Curry went full God beast mode.
He's so beautiful.
He is literally...
I'm not even talking about his looks either.
No, we've talked about this before. Like, Caitlin and I both fell in love with him when we were in high school, I think, and even a little younger. And while the Nuggets like are my main team, that game and the Olympics too just reminded me why I was so obsessed with him in high school. Like the shots he makes, and all of his shots are so pretty. Like I was telling Caitlin this in the car because that's another reason I want you to go back and watch this game if you didn't see it. Kyrie and Luka have the most insane like trick shots where they're like falling and fouled and like randomly get like a floater that was just them getting rid of the ball and it goes
was, like,
in.
Accidentally tossing it sideways.
But like all of Steph's are like so precise. Even his like he had several, probably like 6 or 7 of the high layup that's like woo.
Did you know he practices those every single
I can tell.
Like
that's what I was saying.
It's
like
insane.
all of his shit looks so precise.
Yes.
And it was so funny because like
insane.
you look at Kyrie and Luka and you're like, you're just lucky motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're just
like,
lucky that it went in. They got those little geometric minds at their ball.
It's like a magnet. I swear to God. Like there were so many plays I was like, how did that go in? And a few for Steph. And but if you didn't know, also if you didn't watch, they were down by 8, I think, in the last
Warriors.
Yeah. In the last like 3 minutes. And I'm like, okay, this is like where I was putting myself if like the Nuggets, like when the Nuggets are down that much with 3 minutes, I almost start to try and mentally prepare myself that they might not come back. Steph Curry went on a 10-0 run.
By himself.
By him, yes. Not the Warriors.
Literally Steph Curry.
Wardell Stephen Curry, my bad.
Yep.
Went on a self 10-0 run. And
it was beautiful.
It was just insane.
That's the kind of stuff that he does, though. That's why he was Clutch Player of the Year last year. Like, he's the guy that, like, literally, I'm not even joking. If he goes 0 for 17 in a game and there's 2 minutes left and they're down, or whatever, he'll suddenly get like 15 points in those last 3 minutes. Like
it's
he just
disgusting.
Something in his brain turns on and he starts going crazy.
He's so fast too. I was watching the Warriors are so actually both of these teams. I was really impressed with how well they are in transition because as a Nuggets fan, we have had plenty of people that they're really fast in transition and then they totally mess the layup up. It like literally goes into the stands. And I was so impressed with the control of like almost everybody on each team in those fast break transition moments. Like they were so quick, but then they control and got the easy layup, which is how it should be.
Yes.
Both teams played really well.
Yes. And so like, and that's kind of like where I even just wanted to like really start with the game is that like, if you did not watch the game, if you love fast-paced basketball, so I'm someone, if you don't already know, because we're going to be doing sexy sports in a few minutes, sexy sports came from the fact that I call sports sexy. But like certain plays are sexy basketball, and that's just like the super fast, perfectly executed, like athletic plays, like literally like 15 perfect passes and
block
good
on one
cuts.
end to go straight and get a transition 3.
Yes, just like, perfectly executed, tough plays, amazing basketball. And I call it sexy basketball. That entire game was sexy basketball. It was, I was literally saying, I was like, I think they all need a nap after this game because they were literally until the last 2 minutes of the game. They were like on 100. Everyone's pace was crazy.
I will say like that's the best part about the Warriors. Like they're deep, such a team that you can literally put fresh legs in there.
All the time.
All the time. You can constantly like mass substitute. And so they were just going like so hard on defense. And the Mavs were doing great defensively. And even I felt like the first half, Luka was almost getting anything he wanted. Like there were so many times where their defense, the Warriors defense wasn't looking like how it has because he was literally just like, Luka's not quick. I'm so sorry, buddy.
No. It's like calling Jokic fast. It's just not true.
He's not speedy, but he was just taking it like from half court straight up to the lane.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he's obviously not as skinny as, a Steph Curry, but I was like, surprised that he was getting such easy shots up.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I feel like both of these teams, like as tired as they looked, as tired as both teams looked like towards the end, they looked conditioned and in shape. And so shout out to like Jason Kidd and Steve Kerr for like, because
I feel like
I
Steph
said,
Curry is just like always running around.
Well, he is. I don't know if you know this. Have you, if you've seen like interviews of people that went to work out with him over the summer.
Yeah, well, because Michael Porter works out with him.
Yes. So over the summers, like a lot of, I mean, my thing is like if you're in the NBA, why would you not want to train with the best player or one of the best players in the NBA? One of the most well-trained players in the NBA, because that's, I would say, exactly what he is like just an incredibly well-trained, well-conditioned player. And he, like, when people work out with him over the summer, they literally are like, they get like 10 minutes in and they're like, no, I'm literally sitting down. I'm never doing this again.
Like they always talk about how insane his like cardio is. Like he's just like sprinting all the time.
Yeah.
And that's what it looked like. He was everywhere. And then Draymond Green, I wanted to give a shout out because, you know, I feel like defensive players don't, unless you're like Wemby and you're making like the huge monster blocks.
Yes.
Draymond Green was so incredible, and he was actually playing a lot small ball 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so disruptive. Again, that's why I'm like, watch the game, because there were so many great aspects. He got his hand. He deflected so many shots.
And they were like, I would say that like almost all of them were clean.
Yes.
It was very impressive.
Great defensive, discipline. Yeah.
Yes. And just general precision, like knowing like if I'm going to deflect this ball right now, if I'm going to reach in here, I know that I have to either get the ball perfectly or I'm going to get called for a foul. And like he would go for it. Perfect little slice through the arms. And it's just.
He was so disruptive. He was so good at him. And then I also told Caitlin this earlier. D'Anthony Melton has been obviously so great for this team, but he has just, been such a good like 3-and-D player, which you said before, like his offense, like hasn't always been there really.
He's a player that like they picked up for his defense. When you have a team with Steph and Curry, you don't need offense. You don't need a lot of extra offense. Obviously they picked up Buddy Hield for that, to kind of be that second shooter for them, like, you know, a high volume 3-point shooter next to Steph Curry, kind of like they had with Klay Thompson. And D'Anthony Melton was just like a little bit of additional defense. Like that's somewhere that they really, really lacked last year, was on defense. Especially just with like Draymond being out and the suspension and all that stuff. And they really needed it. And first of all, he hasn't been starting every game. He has just been starting the last couple of games.
Yeah.
He's been amazing. I'm like baffled.
Literally every single person that has been playing for the Warriors, which of course everyone knows that they've been having like such deep rotations, has been contributing. Like they haven't had anyone out on the floor doing nothing.
Well, I was gonna say it's sad when Pods is your worst player on the team right now.
Exactly.
Like when Pods is playing the worst, the guy that led he's been slow this year. It's been rough. But when you go from leading the league in charges last year and being the leading guard rebounder in the entire league, and you're a rookie and you're now the worst player on your team.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot about how good your team is.
They were playing so good. And I don't know what it is about the Mavs. I was telling Caitlin this. I have to look it up because I wanted to get the numbers right. The Mavericks have lost their last
3 games.
3 games, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All by 3, 2, or 1 points.
In the last 5 days, Dallas has lost 114 to 113 to Phoenix. And then they lost in Denver by 2, 122 to 120. And then lost to Golden State 120 to 117. And that's after leading by at least 6 with 3.5 minutes left. I know they're missing. Well, they had Lively in this game. And then they're still missing PJ Washington, which is like obviously was
he's a big defensive piece too for them.
But I don't know, like they aren't clutching, and I think this is really, well, we talked about this last episode, but I think a lot of it has to do with Luka. I swear to God. Like, he is not feeding the hot hand.
No.
He's being, and someone last episode was like, he's not a ball hog. Yes, he is.
No, and that's why I said.
Yes, he is.
That's why when we were talking about him being a ball hog last episode, I'm like, I've seen games. Like, he is like a Jokic in the way that he can get a triple-double if he wants. If you see some of his passes yesterday were phenomenal. I was like, he's literally lacing through players with bounce passes, through moving defenders to get to his player. Like, it's literally a leading pass. Like, he'll pass it right here and his player will be able to, will come right to it. It's a perfect pass every time, but he hasn't been making the passes. That's why I was saying it's like a matter of like if he actually does it. Like,
He shot 27 times, or 27 field goal attempts.
Yeah.
And when you have Kyrie and Klay was hot in the beginning.
Klay was doing well. He was literally shooting 50% from 3. If Klay's 50% from 3, he's going to end 50% or more from 3.
Yeah, Luka had 27 attempts, and he was 2 of 10 from 3. I will say he was more efficient from the field. Like when he was getting those layups, those easy layups in the beginning, that's what he was making. And I felt like he was missing a lot towards the end. But when you have Kyrie Irving, who was 8 of 13 and he had 45 or whatever it was against Denver, he was shooting 61.5% last night and he had 13 field goal attempts. That's on you.
You need to be giving Kyrie the ball.
Pass to Kyrie, especially listen, I know a logo hates to see Luka coming because
truly,
I don't know what it is, but
back-to-back logo threes that he missed,
just chucking up and even in the beginning of the game, which of course this isn't as much in clutch time, but if he had hit those shots, they wouldn't have been so down.
Yeah,
multiple. I was like, you don't need to shoot from that far back every time, dude.
Well, and that's and you know what? So I just want to say too that a lot of Mavs fans, especially last year, first of all, when Kyrie and Luka got on the same team, there was a really big divide.
Yeah.
Because they're two very ball dominant, incredible
players,
finishing offensive players. And you put them on the same team and sure, it can, screw things up, but it can also be really helpful when Luka's having an off night.
Yeah.
He technically was having an off night last night and Kyrie was doing amazing. And those are the nights that he needs to be a facilitator and not a shooter because
feed the hot hand.
Yes. And even Mavs fans that love Luka and have always loved Luka being a part of their team because he's brought them so many wins and gotten them so close so many times. Even they're dude, what are you doing? And his shot selection, that's the hard part is that
it's a pride thing. I swear to God.
It is. And I'm you have 24 seconds on the shot clock. This was in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. The whole game was close. If you didn't know, the entire game was close until the Mavs started pulling away in the fourth quarter. Other than that, I would say that the entire game was pretty back and forth, few lead changes, and it was really close, really good game, really high intensity, fast. And then the last few minutes, the Warriors were down, like I said, 8. And before Steph Curry while Steph Curry went on that run, on the other end, Luka was making the most insane choices. And I'm you have a Klay Thompson on your team. You have a Kyrie Irving on your team. You have a Derek Lively under the basket who can grab the ball and dunk over. We don't have anyone tall. Derek Lively can do that.
When Klay and Kyrie Irving have been making shots,
and you
should not dribble an entire possession, literally ever in the clutch.
And that's what I'm saying is he wouldn't even pace the game either. His pace was insane because he would, like I said, 24 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah.
He would pass half court, dribble for 3 seconds, do a couple in and out the legs.
Yeah, crossover.
Just even through his legs, trying to be fancy. And then he'd cross over and then he would step back from the logo. And I'm this is not 1v1, Luka. You have an entire team of guys who can shoot and make plays. You have Kyrie, the best finisher in the league.
And
you
have
Klay Thompson, one of the best.
For Klay so bad.
So bad.
I'm so pissed. I was Luka, bestie.
It was, yes, just I feel his entire shot selection, most of that game was just insane. You don't need that many logo threes. This is not the end of a game, the last shot at the end of a quarter. You're doing this with 8 minutes left in the third and 22 seconds left on the shot clock. What are you doing?
This is also why I say I don't want Luka on my team because it's just idiotic.
Yes.
Literally play unselfishly.
Mm-hmm.
Let your team have a chance to win. I don't care if you fucked up tonight and we're missing everything and your teammates are making shit. It's not time to redeem yourself when you're not making anything because you're not redeeming yourself.
Literally.
You're making yourself look worse.
Yeah. And I just, I don't love the way that he's playing for the Mavericks. Obviously the Mavericks have been struggling. And here's the thing is that the Mavericks' last 3 games that they have lost, they've been against fantastic teams. Yeah. Obviously,
super close games.
Yes, super close games.
But you have to win some of those.
Exactly. Of course you do.
Especially in the West.
And you know what? it's so hard to tell where they are because it is the beginning of the season and everything like that. And PJ's out and blah, blah, blah. But like, Luka needs to figure out how to get back to like being the facilitator that we know he can be, because we know he's got a great shot when it's on.
We already know you're a great player.
And
Kyrie's a great player. Like, just be great together.
Yes. And like I said, just like facilitate, pass the ball. Like, you've got several great players on your team that, like the Mavericks team, while maybe not the deepest team in the league, they've got a fantastic group of guys.
Yeah.
That like me personally, I would trust 80% of them with the ball in a game like this.
They were doing great.
Yes.
Gafford is
Gafford's amazing. He had a fantastic game.
Lively's always like everywhere.
Yes.
They have a great group of guys. Yeah, they just need to play like, it's just annoying.
I think I really do just think it's like it is
insane
Luka
how, like,
right now.
How good Kyrie and Steph still are. But you know what cracks me up though is like, I'm sorry, like Kyrie looks so old to me.
He does.
He's younger than Jimmy Butler by like 3 years.
You know, all the stress has aged him. It's been a rough few years for him.
It's the fasting.
That's valid. I would also probably.
I like looked it up. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not ready for them to leave the league. I'm
no.
not. In 5 years, I'm going to be distraught when like all my favorite players are out of the league.
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But it was a great game. You should absolutely watch that game. There's going to be a lot more games tonight. And
I just want to say that game was the Warriors, I feel like, officially putting the league on notice. Obviously, they've already been playing really well.
Yeah.
But like, you need to understand that like Kevon Looney was a huge part of our championship rotation.
Continue.
Bless you. I saw your face twitching like, help, Mom. Help.
Sorry.
Kevon Looney was such a huge part of our championship rotation.
Yeah.
And when he was a huge part of our championship rotation, first of all, he played all 82 regular season games plus every single game after that through the championship. Literally had one of the longest active game streaks in the entire league. And besides Mikal Bridges and Jordan Poole, they were the three. They were the top three. And so he's always been super healthy. He's always been a guy that you can count on. Last year, he just like, first of all, the Warriors were rough. They were tough. And Kevon Looney kind of looked like a little bit out of shape. He was only playing like 11 minutes a game and wasn't really doing anything. He's like in the best shape of his life. And he's playing aggressive.
Yeah.
And he's getting big minutes again. And I'm like, that's scary for the rest of the league because he's one of the best rebounders. Like, he's so good. He's not someone that you like. He's the kind of guy that will literally have 2 points and 20 rebounds.
I love that.
He will just literally grab any rebound and kick it back out to someone like Steph Curry or last year Klay Thompson or this year Buddy Hield or whoever it may be.
Yeah.
Like, he's that guy. He's a dog under the basket. That's what he wants. And so you have him. You have a 12-man rotation. You have Moses Moody who can come in and can get 3 threes in a row and play some incredible defense. You have Jonathan Kuminga, who's one of the most athletic guys in the entire freaking world and can literally jump over the basket by himself, just straight from the ground. And then obviously you have Steph Curry, DeAnthony Melton. Like, you have all these guys that are playing the best basketball of their lives. Like, Draymond Green looked like Depoy Draymond.
Oh my God.
Steph Curry.
Insane.
Steph Curry has been playing.
He looks like
similarly
MVP.
to MVP.
Put him in
Steph
the
Curry.
MVP talks.
Yes, I'm like,
no one's defeating Jokic, but he needs to be in the talks.
the fact that Steph Curry and KD were not in the top 10 MVP list.
KD was.
He was number 6. But you're right. Either way, having Steph Curry out of the MVP conversation is crazy. It's asinine. Like, the team is playing insane. He's being such a fantastic leader and facilitator, and the entire team is going crazy. They're playing their brand of basketball, which
so good.
Which, mind you, is like the fastest basketball on the planet. No, literally,
I'm scared.
if you watch the Warriors, like literally just like really watch them for a few possessions even. And it's like
watch that game. It was such a great game.
Yes, and it's just
on
like
both ends, like both teams. It was just such a good
there's
good watch.
So much movement, like so much off ball movement, so much ball movement. Like you'll literally see like
not everyone is just chucking threes.
Exactly.
Which is great.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
It's just a variety of you're getting like everything.
Yes, like you have people who are pulling up mid-range jumpers and you have, corner threes and you have dunks and you have layups and you have guys cutting to the basket. You have, oh my God, who was it? TJD, I think TJD had like the most perfect little double screen below the basket and completely like opened up a shot for like D'Anthony Melton or Steph Curry or something like that.
There was
much good stuff what are these guys doing? How are they doing it? And like they just, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, they don't run any offenses. They don't really run any plays or anything like that unless it's like an ATO or like the last few seconds of a game or whatever. And so this is just free-flowing basketball, and these guys feed off of each other so well. So if you're the rest of the league and you made fun of me for having the Warriors at number 3, or maybe you left the Warriors out of the playoffs altogether, or maybe you
How many
said
people
that,
commented on one of our videos saying the Warriors weren't going to make the play-in?
So many. And I just want to say, like, I know I'm a little biased.
Take it back.
I know I'm a little biased, okay?
What now?
Yeah. What now?
What?
Because they're
You change your mind?
You gonna take it back? Yeah.
Take it back?
You gonna say you're sorry? Waiting. I don't wear watches, but if I did, waiting.
TikTok. We'll be waiting in the comments below. Moving on, let's do sexy sports before we are just going to chit chat quickly kind of about the other few games that were on tonight.
Because there were some interesting upsets results and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a little bit interesting. So we'll definitely talk about a little bit of those, but we're going to do some sexy sports before because there were... My children are screaming because there were a couple of incredible plays from the Warriors game, and then we have another fun one from the Suns Jazz game.
Like, if you didn't watch it, I am at least going to play for you the like ending to insane shots that Steph was making.
He's so beautiful.
So BRB. Okay, this is his layups. This is what I was talking about. They're so high. The dancing.
Okay, so that's the face I was telling you about. You see his lip?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know.
Dance.
Ooh, get it. Okay. I love you so much.
And then we're going to see the night three.
Oh, it's so good. I got to cry.
Trust your defense if you're Dallas. Here's the switch you want, though. Clear out. Doncic will defend Curry.
Oh no. Hey, Lively. Sorry, Lively. Night. Hit him with a night.
Good night. Bye.
Ew, why am I going to cry about
He
it?
said you miss it here. You miss it here.
He is everything to me.
Yeah, he said you miss it here, and I'm assuming that was at Klay Thompson after
But you want to know what's so funny is like, so he said that he has to go back and watch it because someone said, because at first no one knew what he said.
Yeah.
Because, he's got his mouth guard in and he's got his mouth guard in, he's screaming and everything like that. And so everyone was like, what did you say? Yeah. So after, like during media, they were like, can you like walk us through what you were yelling at the camera? And he's like, couldn't tell you. I literally have no idea. He said that he didn't even remember the first possession of the game because he was like, just like there were so many emotions.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm like, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. I'll cry.
Okay, moving on. You want to explain this one, Caitlin? This is Suns Jazz.
Yes, this is from the Suns Jazz game. And I just love this play because we talk about a lot. Like there's nothing better than being able to defend on one side of the court and then, get your steal, get your block, whatever it may be. And then in transition, make a great play.
Yeah.
And so right here, you'll see Royce O'Neal. Yes, I don't say Royce O'Neal just went ahead and got the cutest little block. You'll see it right here. He's number 00. He literally slid it right out of his hands.
Scram!
Scram! And the guy that just made the layup, that is Ryan Dunn, who is their, I want to call him freshman because I call the 2 years sophomores, the rookie. So Ryan Dunn's their rookie, and when Royce O'Neal just like slid that ball right out of his hands and everything like that and got that block, Ryan Dunn was right there and was ready for it. He grabbed the ball and he just took he took it himself and ended up getting a little layup. It was so cute. I love moments like that. It's very confident for a rookie and really cool. But like, I love a good, play on both ends of the court. Like, you're playing a full game of basketball and you got to be there and you got to be ready. And I love when everyone's ready.
We have to talk about someone who wasn't ready.
Who was it this time? Jaylen Brown?
No, Erik Spoelstra.
Eric.
You're like one of the best.
I was going to say you're literally one of the best coaches
ever.
You know what? That just goes to show that even the best make mistakes. Even the best fall down sometimes. Even the wrong words seem to rhyme.
Yep.
Out of the doubt. Are you going to sing the whole song? Yeah, I do.
Oh, I don't. I would if it was playing.
You somehow find you and I collide.
Oh, I was about to say tonight. See,
tonight. Listen, if you don't already know this, and if you're new here, this is pretty much just High School Musical in a podcast.
There has to be some level of singing in here, and I'm not sorry about it. Anyway,
no, I like physically can't help it. This is me in my everyday life, 24/7. So,
Heat lose to the Pistons in OT, 121-123. Ouch, Erik Spoelstra. Erik Spoelstra was unawares, mayhaps perchance, that they did not have a timeout left, and the Pistons made a huge play, and Erik, like I know him by his first name.
Eric, what are you doing?
Coach Erik was pissed and called a timeout, but he didn't have one of those.
You didn't have one.
So
if you don't know, if you call a timeout and you don't have one, it is a technical foul,
which is shot for the other team.
The Pistons got to shoot a couple shots and a shot, and then they got the ball back.
And then they tried to foul, I think was the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Heat they're there. I think they said
they're trying.
There's only 2 teams in the Eastern Conference that have winning records, by the way.
Oh, I know.
2.
Yep, it's literally...
There's 15, by the way.
Yeah, 15 teams. It's the Cavs, obviously, who are now 12-0.
And the Celtics.
And then the Celtics, who also lost their game yesterday, and we'll talk about that in a second. But there's just...
Tyler Herro had
he had a monster
game, by the way. I need to shout him out because everyone's really upset about it.
He had 10 threes. He played fantastic.
Know,
which is that's a very big... I was going to say that's
Eric.
Eric.
40 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, 10 threes.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that's I feel like it's been a while since he's had a game like that. Because he has had some injuries here and there over the last couple seasons. But that's a Tyler Herro game. That's how he normally plays. And so it's great.
Like a get back, get right.
Yes. And so it's great to see him play like that. 10 threes is amazing. He is a fantastic shooter. But that lapse. I was telling Spencer earlier, there was actually, there was literally a play last year where the exact same thing happened to the Warriors. And I think it was even Steph Curry who tried to call the timeout. And Steve Kerr goes, "What are you doing?" And then it happened, and then we lost the game too. It's a pretty detrimental issue.
Mistake. I will say he took full
as he does. He's incredible.
Responsibility in the presser. He said, "I know better. I've been doing this a long time." Yes. So what a bitter way to end.
Yeah.
And then another team lost.
This one was also interesting.
By 1 point.
Yeah, and I just want to say with this one too. So I was watching this game, and first of all, it was a fantastic game. By the way, the Hawks did not have Trae Young.
Sure did not.
And they were playing in Boston. So this is a pretty painful loss for Boston.
Also, I wanted to say the discrepancy in the fucking fouls.
Oh, I don't even think I saw the discrepancy in the fouls.
Oh, sorry. Okay. The Hawks only had 13 free throw attempts. They only made 7.
The entire game?
Yes, and the Celtics had 27. They made 22.
Oh.
But the Celtics also had 20 turnovers to the Hawks 16.
Wow.
The Hawks out-rebounded them by 9 rebounds, and they out-assisted them by 7 assists.
Yeah. It was overall, and I'll say this because...
Wait, what? I just have to say this. Sorry, the Hawks had 20 offensive rebounds, and the Celtics had 6.
Oh.
Ooh.
Boo. Tomato. That's bad. Offensive rebounds are important, my friends. They're so...
I was doing that, but I don't...
This is my cripple hands. Yeah. It's never going to look good.
I'm chucking tomatoes at you, Celtics.
Yeah.
Because what the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because so we have a lot of wonderful Celtics friends. So if you're here and you're watching, we love you and hi. So much. All of them were even saying that the Celtics didn't deserve to win that game just because they played such a bad game. The 20 turnovers, that's when you have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum,
and Derek White
was
he was 7 for 12 from 3.
He had
a 31-point game. Amazing.
He had such an amazing game. That's my all-star. Derek White will be an all-star this year.
But
fucking bookmark it.
You literally have Derek White 31, Jaylen Brown 37, Jason Tatum 20, and then you have Drew Holiday 8, Al Horford 8, Peyton Pritchard 6, Sam Hauser 6, and 0 points from anyone else.
So Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser, those are your guys. Especially Peyton Pritchard. You're working on 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
You need them to produce. And everyone has off nights. I'm not saying that, that was unacceptable. But your 3 best guys having fantastic games and then no one else doing anything. That's Drew Holiday, 8 points. You can't do that. You can't have 8 points, Drew Holiday.
And you can't only have 2 players with 30 points, another player with 20, and then everyone else is under.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do it with just 3 players. And
I didn't get to watch the entirety of the game, but a lot of people were complaining that Jaylen Brown wasn't passing enough to Jason Tatum or wasn't getting him the ball enough.
Okay, when I was watching the game, all I really saw was just a really rough choice making on offense, and that's where a lot of the turnovers came from. Really bad passes, really careless passes, literally trying to throw a skip pass when you have 3 super tall defenders right in your way, you're throwing it directly into their hands.
And then, lest we forget, as if we haven't said it enough, Peyton Pritchard was 2 for 8 from 3. Drew Holiday was 0 for 3 from 3, which happens. That's normal. But
and good for him for stopping it there.
Tatum was 2 for 9. Derek White, of course, was hitting them. He was 7 for 12. But again, I'm just saying,
2 for 9 is still awful.
Sometimes you need to stop and drive to the frickin' basket.
Yes, and it's okay to do that.
2 points is more than 0.
And I just want to say that because this is when I was watching it, I tweeted and I said. I won't even find it because I could probably freaking quote it. But I literally said that I watched the biggest lapse in defense that I have ever seen. So this game was really close. Yes, this game was really close, obviously, towards the end. It was clutch time. We were close to finishing out the game. The Celtics easily could have done it, but they made some asinine mistakes. There was a play where the Hawks, and this was to put the Hawks in the lead, by the way. There was a play where the Hawks had the ball. They were setting stuff up on offense and everything like that. One of the guys cuts to the basket, and all the Celtics are just sitting around, reaching. They saw him cut to the basket. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum stood there and put their arm out. No one shifted over. No one came on help defense. No one even tried to take the freaking foul. No one.
I feel like I'm in the office and these are the Celtics.
Dude, I'm not even joking. Like I said, it was just it literally felt like the entire Celtics team lagged. I'm not even joking. Their heads were not in the game. Truly.
I just have to say.
Yeah.
My agenda has been that the Thunder and Celtics are only good in games that don't have to be played in the clutch.
Interesting. That makes sense.
They've proven it a couple times already this season.
Yes, and I do. And okay, so about that, that's what I was gonna say is like
when you dare them to make shots. And like I was looking at the game feed for like the last minute, and it was like miss Jaylen Brown brick, miss 28 game tying, miss. Yes. When you dare them to shoot in those clutch moments, they're not making it. They're making it when they're comfortable. They have the early lead. It's going. It's flowing. But when it's like the final clutch time, and you need a couple like insane possessions on both ends of the floor, they can't do it.
Well, and so that's what I was gonna say. So like we saw last year. If you saw last year, Jason Tatum is a fantastic player. He's amazing. Good for him. Incredible. But he was one of the or the worst superstar in the clutch last year.
Yeah.
He was struggle bussin'. And this year, he has kind of proven to be the exact same. And again, that's fine. You can let Jason Tatum go crazy until the last 2 minutes of the game. Then you got to let someone else take over.
Yeah.
Because in very important moments, Jaylen Brown missed 2 free throws in a row. And so he missed 2 free throws. Hawks got the ball back and they go back on defense. And I think that that's even when the Hawks made that play and the Celtics just totally lapsed on defense. And then the Celtics go back and Derek White makes the most clutch 3. And I think he like tied the game with that clutch 3. And I was like, oh my God, like thank God for Derek White, my clutch king. Like, because he was having just an amazing game and he showed up in the clutch. He was probably the only one. And then Hawks get the ball back. Celtics get the ball back. Jaylen Brown makes up for it, makes a huge, very clutch shot. Amazing. Awesome. Ball goes back to the Hawks. Hawks make a shot. This game is going back and forth in the last couple of minutes. And then Jason Tatum bricks a 3. And then the ball goes back. And then they had like a decent defensive play. Jaylen Brown bricks a 3. And then the ball goes back. And then the Hawks make like a basket or whatever, a layup. And so it's just like they were making so many... just like, and they weren't even like great shots that they were taking.
Yeah.
Like they were just like, they were rushed and they were off. And I'm like,
poor decision making.
Yes. And I'm like, you have,
detrimental.
Where's Derek White? You have my guy, Derek White.
Who's having a 31-point game.
Derek White is playing amazing. Yeah. It was just truly, like I said, like even our friends who are Celtics fans were like, they did not deserve to win that game.
No,
like they completely screwed themselves. The loss was 1,000% on them. Derek White, you are a king. I love that he had such a good game. He's my all-star this year. I'm excited for him.
He's great. You know who I don't love? Joel Embiid.
That was a quick segue. Slid right on in there.
I hate Joel Embiid, and I don't care because he returned and he proved he was exactly who everyone says he is, except the guys who are literally wanting to marry him for themselves.
Enjoy.
You have Joel
fun.
Embiid in his return. 26 minutes, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 for 11 from the field.
8 free throws.
8 free throws, 2 turnovers. That's my
There
mic
it
drop.
goes.
I have never watched anything more embarrassing than watching this man play basketball and literally bump into a defender that's just standing there minding his freaking business, and then he like jumps onto the floor. I have to get the video of his stupid ass. This is so concerning.
To return to action.
So there's Joel Embiid. Okay, what is that? Just wait. We'll watch it again.
Action. He did not get anything.
What was that? What?
I was telling I hate hating. I really do. Like
he's so awful.
I try so hard to give people like the benefit of the doubt.
It's too late for him.
That's what I'm saying is like I told Spencer that when I was watching this game, I told myself, I was like, it's his first game back. I saw one game of the Olympics where I liked his game. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go in totally objectively and I'm gonna watch him. And then literally the entire time I was so pissed off. I was like, what are you doing?
Bestie, what's happening here?
What are you doing?
I just can't. Like, he's so bumbly. Again, if you're in there, like, at least you got 3 rebounds as the center
in 26 minutes. I didn't even process that part. 3 rebounds.
He was literally 0 from the field for like the first half and just had 8 free throws.
Well, that's what I was just about to say, is that literally his 8 free throws were all in the first half when he had like half the amount of minutes.
I hate it. Like, and he literally looked winded at the end of the first quarter.
And if you didn't know,
he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say the 76ers have a game tonight and he's not playing again tonight.
No, Embiid. What is the point of him? You don't play. You don't want to play.
And that's like, and this is kind of like what I said. And like for me, like I feel bad for the fans.
Yes.
Because like imagine being like a 10-year-old kid and you're like, Mom, all I want for Christmas is to see Joel Embiid. Perfect. Let me get you tickets. But I don't know when to get tickets because when does he ever play?
Or we can only go on this game. Like this is the game that I can afford and got tickets for. And then you show up and he's sitting.
Yeah. Literally. Like I just
what do you why are you a max contract player?
Yeah, and like I said, like how do you explain that to your fans? Like, hi, we have this guy who's an MVP, but he like never plays. And I get his injuries. I've talked about his injuries before. I don't want to ever like discount that because again, it's the same thing.
Okay, but clearly you have glass bones and paper skin.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is like, so I understand the injuries. You know, you have guys like Kawhi, like PG. Well, he shouldn't have done that. I said the same thing several times. He should not have done that.
It's the only way he could get a ring, bestie.
Touche.
How else? Or a medal. He was medal chasing.
I just am so bitter about it.
I just can't. I can't watch him. It's disgusting.
I hate how much I just like don't like watching him play basketball. And it's just like, and I hate it too because like I love Tyrese Maxey and I really like Kelly Oubre and I
like to look at Kelly Oubre.
That's so valid.
He's married, but he's very handsome.
I love that for you.
Just have to say it.
No, I think objectively he is a very good looking man.
Thank you.
Truly. But like, just I like feel bad for like their team. Like your leader only plays half the time.
Then Tyrese Maxey's out currently. So.
Yes, and like that's what I'm saying.
For them,
like,
Jared McCain's doing really well.
He's doing amazing. And I actually saw someone say, because I asked my question about like what do you say to your fans like when your superstar doesn't play ever.
Yeah.
And a lot of 76ers fans were actually saying that like it's okay because Jared McCain's going to become everyone's favorite player. Aww. And I love that because like. Yeah. He's someone that like he's like respectful to like the media and he's like fun and he's kind and he's silly like and he's a great player. Like he's the kind of guy that like he's like a Steph Curry that
he's
like
fun. He makes it fun.
Exactly. He's entertaining. And like when you're playing basketball, I know that you're in the NBA and it's a game and it's a competition, but it is entertainment. That is literally like why you're getting paid is to literally play basketball and entertain people. But I love that for him. I really like him. I think that him and Tyrese Maxey will be so cutesy together.
Once Tyrese Maxey
gets back, yes. But
everyone's injured.
Yeah.
Chet, Jaw is out.
Yeah.
AG's out.
Mm-hmm.
There's like so many people out. And Isaiah Hartenstein. The OKC just doesn't have a center.
They don't have a center anymore. Nope. And KD has his calf strain.
Yes, KD like.
Yeah.
I hate when this happens. I want everyone healthy.
Me too. Better competition.
Should we do some lighthearted? Should we do some
Magic 8-ball takes? I would love to.
We have to start off with $2 questions just because I'm dying to know because
Samesies.
They came out, friends, class, and they said that they were sticking with Doc Rivers, which usually means they're not.
What kind of coaching staff is Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham?
I don't know.
Come on.
So will he be fired mid-season before the season's over?
Will Doc Rivers be fired before the season's over? Very doubtful. You're that dumb, Bucks? You're that dumb Bucks front office? Are we for really right now? Interesting. I don't like it. I don't believe it either. Are you lying to me?
All right. Does Giannis force a trade? I think he's going to be the one that's like, get me the F out of here.
Will Giannis leave after the season or be traded before the end of the season even? Either one. Will he not be on the Bucks anymore? Without a doubt.
Which is wild because I can't imagine him in another uniform.
No, me neither. It's not. I don't like it.
Thanasis, start packing the boxes.
I'm so dead.
I'm sure that's what he does.
I just like picture like Thanasis like with like a towel and a water bottle like chasing Giannis around everywhere like just for funsies.
I just like picture him being like, oh my gosh, I got us matching like pajamas.
Stop.
You want to take a picture?
I'm
little
dead.
bro.
I think he would actually do that. Okay. Take a picture. I think he would.
Selfie.
We love nepotism in the NBA.
We love nepotism spots on rosters. My favorite.
Yummy. Okay.
Yum, yum, yum.
This next question is interesting to me because Jason Tatum keeps getting put on MVP lists every year.
We don't know why.
But he
Spencer doesn't know why.
has never. I don't think he's ever like really gotten
Deserved
close.
It? Oh no, I don't think he's ever deserved it.
Well, that
I also
too.
don't think Shea should be on the list.
No, especially I don't know.
It's weird to me that they just decide that the people that they think like are such like the best players, even if it's not like the best team players, should get the award.
It's very subjective.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not going like based off of
what an MVP is.
I think one thing that I talk about is that like I feel like the definition of MVP has been skewed the last couple of years because MVP is the most valuable player, and to me that means it's the person who is the most valuable to their team in every aspect. And I don't necessarily, and this doesn't mean that it can never be, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player on the best team. So just because they won the championship and he was like the best player on the team,
you also have other all-stars like
you have you have Jaylen Brown and you have guys like Derek White and you have I just feel like they've won several games without Jason Tatum and I just feel like it's hard to win when you're or it's hard to lose when your MVP is playing. Obviously it happens, but like it's hard to win without him too, you know? So, and that's like part of the reason that like, I don't think Steph Curry, like as much of like an MVP type season as he's having, his team is holding it down for him and he's got other leaders and things like that. So, I don't know. The question though, that's why I think it's an interesting question because I would love to see, will Jason Tatum ever win a regular season MVP? Very doubtful.
She's on it today.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this too. I think that part of the reason that he won't and hasn't yet is truly because of Jaylen Brown. I feel like it's really hard to win. And this is the same thing. This is the same reason that I think of this as Shea too, because you have J-Dub and Chet like next to you and stuff like that. But it's like when you have someone like Jaylen Brown next to you, like, are you really the most valuable? Yeah. Are you like he's playing at like almost the exact same level as you, and he's able to hold the team to getting several wins. Yes, exactly.
The other day.
Yeah, and so it's so true when they played the Warriors, and so I think that it kind of screws him having whereas like
such good players.
Yes, whereas like Jokic, I'm like I feel like he almost like he is like truly the most incredible player on the planet.
Yeah.
He kind of has like a tiny bit of a benefit not having any all-stars on his team because he gets to be that amazing and have this
show how amazing he is.
Yes, exactly. So
agreed.
That's just my opinion on it. I find it really interesting, but very doubtful for Jason Tatum to ever win a regular season MVP per the 8 ball.
Bestie.
All right, last one. I like this one just because the West is tough. It's hard to know who's going to be in those 7 through 10 spots. And even like probably your 11 and 12 spots will probably be like play-in / playoff worthy teams in the West. And so the question is, will the Kings make it out of the play-in? See if the Kings will make the playoffs again this year. I hope they do. I feel like they deserve it.
DeMar DeRozan
he's been amazing, and like their team overall has been great. They just haven't really played a lot of great games, and I think Mike Brown deserves that too. He's such a good coach. Outlook not so good.
Ooh.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that answer. Did I ever tell you? So I get these mini basketball players. Literally, don't make fun of me. I love small things, but they have like these little. They come in balls like this size. You know what I'm talking about, right? They're called mini ballers, and they're these cute little mini basketball players. And the day before DeMar DeRozan got traded, I got a mini DeMar DeRozan in a Bulls jersey.
Oh, you did tell me this. Yeah,
I got a mini DeMar DeRozan in a Bulls jersey, and then he got traded to the Kings. So I just got little Bulls DeMar DeRozan sitting on my mantle. But I got a Steph Curry and a Devin Booker the other day. I was so hyped.
Love that for you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just like so excited. It's fine. I really want a Jokic. He's like the only like he's like my only like favorite player that I don't have yet. Not that you guys care about my mini basketball players, but I am a child, okay. So.
Anyways,
this was fun. Yes, thanks for, if you're still here, thanks for watching. If you're new here, again, welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sitting through us yapping for an entire hour. I just also want to say, like, I'm so sorry about my big nose and my ugly makeup. I'm fine, guys. It was just like just a couple hate comments.
Just one. Really, it was just one.
It's just ruined my life.
Be nice to my fucking friend.
Okay. I'm just kidding. It's fine. Listen, I recognize that I am not for everyone, okay? Mm-hmm. But either way, if you are new here, please like, subscribe, comment. Follow us on all of our socials below. We'd love to talk sports with you guys. We're very active on X. We like to tweet through games and things like that. Talk about different sports takes, football, basketball, all that stuff. What's that face?
Just don't be scared of me, okay?
Apparently she's mean.
No, listen, everyone was just shocked when they saw our first podcast episode. They were like, why does Spencer seem so nice? And I was like, what?
What do you mean I am nice?
And then we had a really close game the other day. And when I'm at the games, I don't like live tweet. And I'm not tweeting like every second. But I do talk my shit once we win. And
she did that.
And after like looking through some of my posts after like a big win, I was like, I get it.
I think I'm a little scary. She just kept going.
I'm just so competitive.
She kept receipts and she just on every post update.
I'm so sorry. Yeah,
update.
I'm so sorry, but
how'd that go for you?
I'm the only girl and I had two older brothers. I'm a competitive little biatch.
Yep. That's okay. So me, I'm actually scared of competition. So I actually prefer to cry about it. So I just don't say mean things to me. I actually prefer to think that everyone's a winner.
No, I cry when we lose. But like if we win, like I'm ruining your life with receipts.
I'm so dead. I'm too scared to do that. So
anyway, we will see you back here.
Like in like
probably
6 hours.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely tomorrow.
Because there's a lot of games to watch. So let me pump this out quickly for you all. And then we'll talk to you tomorrow.
And we're going to go eat some dinner and stuff too. That sounds fabulous. What time is it? 5:30. I'm ready for dinner.
Yeah.
It's an early dinner. We're grandmas.
Night, night.
Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.
Oh. Night, night.
Night, night.
Little Steph Curry motherfucker right here.